you absolutely need to have a plan for what you want this to do. So investing is more than just finding a stock you like and purchasing it.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the 102nd edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. Our focus for today is finance for building wealth. Very, very excited about, again, this topic for today, finance for building wealth. Our first guest is none other than Tremaine J. Tremaine is an MBA and a native of Hampton Roads. She hails from the East End community of Newport News, and she's a graduate of Hampton University. She's been in the personal finance and investment space since 2012. She's passionate about working with women who have the ambition to make the world a better place, and recently founded her own financial consulting firm, Mind Over Money, LLC, and she's launched a podcast entitled My Last Dime. Welcome to the show, Tremaine. How are you?
Yes, thank you so much, Blair, for having me. I just want to extend my gratitude for inviting me into your space. And it is a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. This is our space, a shared space. This is all about the incredible work that our business community is doing. So thank you so much for being here. I want to get right into it because I'm just a huge fan of your work. So again, thank you for these efforts. Can I just ask you squarely, what is the biggest concern when you think about the population that you work with? What's sort of the biggest challenge, would you say?
Oh, I would say there is this deep-seated comfort in no movement. So the lack of desire or the loss of hope in believing that, we might be stuck in this position forever. And so while I might be pouring and pouring and pouring my heart into helping, if the belief isn't there that things will change, then it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, I feel like I hear you saying that it starts with mindset. And so how then do you reach the Black women that you're intending to serve? By
tapping into their hearts. I think that Black women carry so much, and we care about so many other people. And I have to help us believe that once we take better care of ourselves, then we can do more for others, which is a strange method, but it's seeming to work.
I'm feeling like I needed to hear that personally. Yeah, I appreciate, again, just that energy that says that, you know what, first of all, we can improve, right? And that it kind of starts with self-improvement. So let's just jump into some tips for saving and investing, right? In my mind, this is the first place to start, is being better stewards of the resources that we have. So what are the tips that you're providing, particularly in the times that we're living in, to help women take the steps needed to start saving or to continue saving?
Yeah, this is a good point. So I'm 100% with you on being a good steward, and I think sometimes we have this belief that when I reach this next level, or when I get this raise, or when I get this better paying job, that's when I'll start saving or investing or whatever that next level is for you. And the truth is, it has to start with where you are right now. And so my first tip is to start now. And it doesn't have to be, investing in anything that you don't understand. It could just be starting to save $5 per paycheck in a savings account. To develop that habit and to develop that muscle of putting money away and leaving it. And so many times we think, we don't have enough, I don't have enough. But if you condition yourself and discipline yourself to save even that small amount. When you arrive at that pay raise or that better paying job or that additional stream of income, it'll become second nature to you. It is part of you to save and to invest. And so we have to start where we are, even if it's a small amount, to build that muscle.
I'll tell you, Tremaine, I have forced myself to both save and to invest. I use the automated kind of apps that just steal the money, and then I look and it's gone, and, you know, over time I'm able to see, wow, you know, and that's how I've been able to develop that discipline. Are you a fan of those kinds of, shall we say, resources?
Yes. I love all of them because it takes away the thoughts and the that second guessing, right? So if I have this automation set up, and it's not just apps, right? We can do this with our employers if we have direct deposit. Many times they'll allow us to split our check and have some of it go into a primary checking where that's where we pay all of our bills, and then we can have another portion of our checks put into a separate savings account. And this could be completely separate from whatever employer-sponsored retirement program that you have, right? So those options are available. But I love these things because if I set it and I forget it, then I don't have the chance to say, oh, I don't want to move that money this week. Right. I'm going to find something different to do with it. And so these apps that are like Digit and Capital, and you can even now invest with Cash App, which is crazy, right? Like everybody uses Cash App. Yeah. And so having access to these tools can enhance, the strategies that we're trying to use. But again, of course, you have to be disciplined. So it aids in that discipline, having the resources right there at your fingertips.
Okay. I love it. Let's talk then about kind of your professional wheelhouse, right? Because I know there are lots of different lanes inside finance, and so I'm often hitting you up to say, hey, do you do this? Do you do that? What's kind of, where is the beginning and the end of your kind of sweet spot inside the finance?
Yeah. So you're right. There are a million things in the finance space. And so for me, I work best individually with Black women between the ages of 20 and 40 because my goal is to catch us so that we're not 65 trying to figure out, can I retire?
Wow.
We're at the point where, okay, it's not can I, it's when will I, and how am I going to make it happen? So that way you have a concrete plan in place so that you know where you're going. And we're not just spinning our wheels, working and making money, but the money has no direction. So I work best with women who, they're generating income, but they're not quite sure what to do with it. They're passionate about serving and volunteering. And sometimes, most of that check ends up in somebody's fundraiser or supporting the volunteer team that they're coaching. And so while all of these things are important, you have to make sure that you take care of yourself. So that's my sweet spot, helping the women that want to help everybody else and making sure that they take care of them too.
Yeah. Okay. What about the person that says, do I really need a professional? Like, I know what I need to be doing. How do you respond to that kind of thing?
My response is maybe you don't, right? Maybe you just need DIY resources and guidance. And I think there's many of us that fall into that space where we might not need a professional to do it for us, but we do need some sort of accountability. Sure. And so I would encourage you to find people who are moving in that same direction and hold each other accountable, because we'll look up and it'll be 5 years from now and we're still facing the same financial struggles. And that's not what we want, right? Of course, things are going to happen, but I don't want to be battling the same battles. Biggie has a song, and it's like, more money, more problems, right? And I want those next level problems. I want to be figuring out, okay, how do I reduce this tax liability legally, right? Not, oh my goodness, I'm not sure if I can pay my lights this month. And this was the same struggle from 10 years ago. And so That's what you want. If you don't believe that you need a professional, you might not. Maybe you are somebody who is self-motivated and you can figure these things out. But if your situation looks the same as it did 5 years ago, maybe you need an honest assessment, and it might be time for a professional.
Yeah. I must say, you are a content queen. I believe it was last month where you did an unprecedented, or at least it was unprecedented for me to even think about, 30 days of finance content for those that are in your tribe. How can people connect to this amazing information that you're sharing?
Yeah, so it stretched me definitely, but
I was just like, let's go.
It was a stretch, but I believe that people deserve education, and everything doesn't have to be about sales. And so with me seeing so much misinformation in the finance space and knowing that I have the capacity to teach, I wanted to provide that educational resource. So the tribe is called Get Your Money Right. We have a free group that we're actually running a challenge right now, but our mission is to really just provide the resources and make the information available for those who might not be able to afford a professional right now. Because the truth is, the information is available. It's out here if you want it. You just have to be willing to do the work. And so that's what Get Your Money Right is about. It's about providing the information, the access, so that if you want it, it's yours. If you want some more information, where the 30 days of content, those videos are inside of my academy, which is a monthly subscription. You get access to group coaching. And so again, maybe you can't hire an individual financial planner, but you want to talk to a professional that's going to teach you. That's available inside the academy.
Love it. I'm trying to find the graphic. Here it is. 30 days, 30 lessons. Tremaine provided content on income streams for creatives, taxes, medical debt, holiday savings, creating your emergency fund, business startup, tracking net worth, cryptocurrency, right? Life, health, disability insurance, negotiating bills. What I want to talk about in the time that we have left, and I know that this thing kind of comes and goes, and you and I have been having this conversation, why shouldn't I participate in the blessing loom? Or the gifting concept. Why not?
Well, money has to come from somewhere. And, I get these calls still, and it baffles me, but we don't know what we don't know, right? And so the thing for me to say to you is that money has to come from somewhere. And so me participating in these types of looms, I am taking money out of the pockets of the people I claim to care about, right? Because I'm asking them to put money into this bucket, and I draw from the bucket. Well, when it's time for them to draw from the bucket, somebody else has to have put money in there. So there's continuously money coming out and being refilled by the next layer of people coming in. So eventually it dries up. It always does, right? When folks figure out, well, how am I going to get my money? And so then the people you care about, those folks that you drew in, they're out. Whatever amount of money that you convinced them to put into this loom. So please don't do the blessings looms. Please don't do, if it's not connected to a product or a service, be very, very careful connecting your money and expecting a return. The money has to come from somewhere.
Now let me ask you this then, as a follow-up question. Is there a legitimate strategy that involves some level of group economics whereby we can sort of rotate the wealth?
Absolutely. This is the traditional susu, the way that it was intended to be. It is a closed loop. So how the traditional susu works, there is a finite number of people in the group, and each person contributes the same amount of money every month, right? So let's say I have 10 people in this group. All 10 people put in $1,000. Well, that's $10,000 every month that one person is able to collect. Well, the following month, that person who got that $10,000, they're still going to put in $1,000. So essentially, they are repaying that $10,000 advance that they got. Does that make sense? So like every month,
yes,
they're having their shot at the $10,000. It works best when the folks who really need the money the most are in the beginning, and the folks who might not need it as much are at the end, because they're paying into it, allowing other people to have the opportunity. And then at the end, they are essentially collecting their investment back.
Yeah. Oh, that makes so much sense. And as a person who has been susceptible, at a period of time, or a period in time, rather, just having that breakdown to say, you know what, it doesn't make sense. The money does have to come from somewhere, and I know people that are currently incarcerated behind participating in these Ponzi schemes. You have the intermediate Ponzi scheme, you have the advanced Ponzi scheme, and then you have what we're saying now as the blessing loom. It's a baby Ponzi scheme, but it's still a Ponzi scheme, right? And so
right.
I just appreciate you bringing truth to that and helping our folks to not to succumb to that. If you would reiterate your contact details and social media pieces so we can connect with you.
Yes. So you can find me on all social media platforms. My personal information is Tremaine Wills on every platform. My business, Mind Over Money, LLC, is on Facebook. And then our free tribe, which I'm going to encourage you to get connected with. I don't want to say I guarantee results, but if you are looking for education, I guarantee you will find it. Get Your Money Right, the Facebook group. Come join us, and let's be a part of this movement to close the wealth gap.
Yeah, that's dope. We still have about 4 minutes remaining, and I'm kind of feeling like any other tips. One of the other things that I've seen content circulating a lot in the last, I'm going to say 6 to 8 months, has been pertinent to investing, right? Folks kind of say, hey, look at what the market is doing. This would be a great time to do this, or this would be a great time to not do that. Can you give just some kind of generic tips for investing in the stock market during 2020, COVID, everything we're experiencing?
Yeah. So my first tip is to have an emergency fund. You do not want to invest money you cannot afford to lose. So if you don't have, this cash reserve that you can tap into when things get crazy, because we've seen this year that things get crazy, right? You don't want to use the money that you might need in 2 months to pay bills. So the first thing before you invest anybody's dollar in anything, I don't care if it is a $7 stock, you need to have an emergency fund set up. Beyond that, you absolutely need to have a plan for what you want this to do. So investing is more than just finding a stock you like and purchasing it. There needs to be some sort of strategy as to what you want this money to be purposed for. So there's different types of investing. We have short-term day trading. We have long-term investing. Maybe I want to use a brokerage account to increase my assets for, some purchase I want to make in 5 to 10 years. Or maybe this is something I'm going to be using for my retirement funding. Whichever those you might fall into will determine the type of account you even need to invest in. So having an idea of what you want the money to do is sometimes more important than what you want to buy. So it is vital that you have a plan. Please don't just go follow the crowd and buy whatever things folks are saying to buy. Because if somebody's telling you to buy a specific stock, chances are they have skin in that game. And when you buy, that helps increase the value of their stock. So just be very, very careful.
Good point. Wow.
Yeah.
So I wanted to squeeze that last little bit out of our time together because I'm just like, we have a guru in the building. But it is time for us to go to break. Tremaine, you are always welcome to be a guest on Black Wall Street today. Love what you're doing. Yes. So we will talk again soon.
Thanks so much.
Mind Over Money, LLC.
This show is brought to you by Positive Vibes Incorporated, our consulting services. We do credit fixes, tax resolution, we lend private money to real estate investors, and we do debt consolidations. Basically, we put money in your pocket when you need money. We put money in your pocket when you need money. 757-932-0177. Throughout the United States, credit fixes, tax resolution, lending private money to real estate investors, and debt consolidation. 757-932-0177. 757-932-0177.
Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram, and then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said, and I will continue to say, that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party. Phenomenal.
Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Phenomenal.